Arkansas is dominating the overtime in Atlanta. They've scored 11 of the last 13 in OT until that hoop. Let's go to Brad Nessler.
It's for a three-point play now for Walker. Arkansas had a 9-point lead after this Beck double pump. Corey Beck just dribbles through everyone and gets his own look, and it's a strength that he has. You watch Kentucky answers, though. Very aggressive basketball team, and the look right there tells you that Kentucky bench got our hands full. Timeout Arkansas with 1:32 left. And a 7-point Razorback lead.
So as you see, Rhodes, who missed the 2 free throws, is on the bench, and he has been for most of overtime. We'll keep you updated. Let's head back to Mike in the ACC.
5 of 15 field goal shooting, and part of the reason is Perrault at 6'9.5" can really bother Calabria's shot.
Good ball movement. Braswell hits a 3. So the young man who's gone 2 straight games scoreless has 5 early.
Mike, you've done a lot of games over the years. How often have you seen it in a big game, somebody stepping from behind the scenes and out of the shadows to play a major role in his team's chance for winning?
When everybody wants to be that guy, too.
Exactly.
McGinnis, good pull-up, missed the shot. Braswell with a rebound, trying to run. Always a good idea to wait for Childress. Braswell will take another. Calabria with a rebound. Dante trying to go end-to-end, kicked it off his foot out of bounds. The officiating crew, Dick Paul, Frank Scagliano, Rick Hartzell, as you look at Dean Smith, does not like the turnovers. That's the 4th.
There you see it right there.
An uncharacteristic of Carolina basketball.
You'll see Carolina mix up their defenses a little more. They'll sit back in the zone, partly because they don't have the depth they've had in the past. It's a way to try to protect people from fouls.
Duncan. Short, but gets the long rebound. Ricky Perrault with his first one. Duncan had his hands on it, but here's Williams. All right, let's go back to the studio right now. After that, turn over to Mike Tirico. Mike?
Okay, Mike, as we go back to the SEC, Corliss Williamson is fouled out for Arkansas with 20 points, so Rick Pitino a little bit of an advantage. His team's still down 7. Let's take you to Atlanta live.
Walker trying to add his 21st point, caps his 3-point play. 6-point ball game with a minute and a half left. Kentucky got the turnover. I was going to say, they've kind of played around with that press now the last 2 or 3 possessions, trying to force it into big guys. And that Kentucky defense is relentless now. They are not going to let up on you. Kentucky trailed by as many as 9 here in overtime. They can cut it to 4 if they score on this possession. Walker really wants it against Thurman. Now it's Delk. He has struggled from the 3-point line today. Walker, tough catch, adjusts in midair, Pope with a tip in. It is down to 4, and McDaniel is fouled by Shepard, and Shepard's gone.
Kentucky foul on number 15, Jeff Shepard. That's his 5th personal foul.
Watch Walker catches the ball in great position to shoot. Creates his own look there at the end. Then Pope comes in again. Anytime that ball goes to the block, if you're a perimeter defender, you've got to make a beeline for the front of that rim and get your body in front of someone. Shepard becomes the 2nd player to foul out. Leaves with 6 points all in the first half. He fouled out of the regular season game between these 2 teams as well. He gave up the quick foul there to send Arkansas to the free throw line with 1:11 left to go. Clint McDaniel, 16 points on the day. 1 for 2 from the free throw line, but he's hit 27 of his last 32 free throws, so he's not a bad guy to send to the stripe if you're an Arkansas fan. But it rattled out on him. There's the 2 players that have fouled out. And Roderick Rhodes, who hasn't, but missed free throws at the end that would have prevented this extra 5 minutes. And McDaniel missed them both. So Roderick is not alone in missed free throws in crucial situations. We're down to a minute. This has been the man today. Only a freshman, but Walker missed it. And Robinson the rebound. Thurman with the outlet. Jimmy and I almost had a souvenir.
Kentucky is still forcing a little bit on the offensive end. That time Walker took a very difficult shot. Tony Delk took 3 or 4. At this point in the game, you still got to allow that offense to get you and create you some good looks. You can't force it too quick.
4-point ball game, 53.5 seconds left. And Delk with a foul. Again to send McDaniel to the line.
Foul on 0-0, Tony Delk. His first
For Rick
personal
Pitino's
foul.
club, they come in 24-4, and on those 4 losses, been by a total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. 10 points, a 1-point loss, 2 2-point losses, and a 5-point loss. So they have been right there every game.
And the people they've lost to have been no slouches either.
Clint McDaniel to the line for Arkansas, 2 shots.
I tell you what, that Kentucky and Arkansas, both those jobs now, in my opinion, for the head coach, they're the best job in the country and the worst job in the country all on the same day, because you have all the resources, everything you want to win a national championship.
But it's expected of you.
The pressure, the expectations, very tough to live with.
Clint missed his last 2, but he drained those 2. 6-point ball game. And now Kentucky might have to start thinking about threes, and they haven't been falling here in Atlanta. Here comes one. There goes one. Foul on Pope. Kentucky wasting no time sending the Razorbacks to the free throw line.
His third personal.
Yeah, what a great job by Kentucky to free up Delk. They ran a little back screen for him from the weak side, allowed him to float to the wing. Look right there. That's a back screen being set for him. They throw over the top. He gets his feet squared and nothing but the bottom. Didn't just happen. That was a called play.
Torrey Beck now the man of the moment at the free throw line, where he's 2 for 2 today. Doesn't matter what you are at the free throw line at this stage, things get a little bit tighter, and you know there's tremendous amount of fatigue out there, and that can make you short sometimes from the line. And Beck was. Nolan Richardson thinking, am I going to see another SEC tournament title go by the boards? But his team still leads by 3. Beck missed them both. Can you believe it?
I go for the first good shot I get. If it's a 3 or something off the dribble.
There it is underneath. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Walker cut it to 1, and now a steal by Kentucky. And McDaniel fouls X. And McDaniel's gone.
Brother. I just talked about Arkansas falling asleep on their press offense. Watch the basket go, and then Arkansas steps out of bounds quickly and throws it right into the coffin corner. You got to keep that thing out of there. Great job by Kentucky in the press.
Corliss Williamson looking on. The worm's eye view. The bird's eye view looks pretty good, or at least better than it did a little while ago. Arkansas 93, Kentucky 92. The regular season score, Arkansas 94, Kentucky 92. Epps will step up to the free throw line. 83% free throw shooter with ball in hand. For the tie. Got it.
Nobody wants it more than that guy right there, do they?
You know it. Kentucky hasn't led in this game since it was 2-0. Now they do. Arkansas can play for the one shot that would win it for them. Here's your ball game in overtime. 94-93 Kentucky. Scotty Thurman's got 5 game-winning shots in his career, 1 against the Wildcats earlier this year. For 3. Short. Kentucky's gonna survive, it looks like. And already they're storming the court, but there's .6 left on the clock. Foul was on Corey Beck. It's probably academic. The winner in the regular season game scored 94. Kentucky has 94. We talked about making defensive stops and winning championships. Kentucky that time forced Arkansas into a shot that was probably a little bit out of Scotty Thurman's range. I noticed Nolan Richardson told Thurman after the shot, hey, you had a chance to maybe take him off the dribble, try to get to the free throw stripe.
The 95th point and maybe the 95 SEC Tournament Championship just went through from Tony Delk.
And Roderick Rhodes is going to be the first one to lay a hug on 0-0 if he hits this one. It came out, but Arkansas can't get a shot away. Kentucky wins the SEC Tournament title and a #1 seed to the big show. They lock that thing up, and Arkansas now will fall to a 2 seed, but do not be surprised to see those two teams meet again.
So a great finish, and Dick thinks Arkansas still may be a 1 seed. We'll talk about that more at halftime of the ACC championship game. We'll get you right back there. There's been a little scoring drought in that one. Wake Forest has a 5-point lead. Get you right back out to the ACC after this. In the Big East, that is the correct score. Villanova led by 1 at the half. They've exploded in the first 5 minutes, up 17 at the Garden. Back to the ACC and Mike Patrick.
All right, thanks, Mike. We have 8 minutes, 28 seconds to go. First half, Wake Forest leading North Carolina 14-11. A little sloppy so far. The Tar Heels have turned it over 8 times, and the Deacons really haven't been able to take advantage of it. Wallace back in the game after a rest, so is Duncan. Duncan picks up the foul. That's his first. Let's update you on what's happened so far in this game for the ACC tournament title. As we said, it's been a little sloppy early. Carolina hitting only 5 of 16, Wake only 5 of 18, and Braswell is the leading scorer with 5 points. He had not scored in the tournament until today. And a miss by Wallace at the free throw line. Wallace makes the second one, 14-12. The lead cut to 2. Childress has only had a couple of shots. He made one, a 3. Substituted early. Childress gets his second long-range bomb. 76 points in 3 games and counting. Dante Calabria. Stackhouse and Duncan fighting for it. Banks clobbers Stackhouse.
Take a look at Randolph Childress here, working well without the ball. And as we've seen all weekend, all he needs is a slither of room, and he'll make you pay.
Got a great release. Very rarely does it touch iron. And look at the numbers that he has produced in this tournament. Almost doubled his season's average, up in assists about 60%. And he's even shooting better. Stackhouse spins one in. Averaging 19.3 games a game for the season. Had 19 in the semifinal, but he's had 9.5 rebounds a game. Hits them both. Stackhouse with a pair from the line. 7:40 to go in the half. Wake by 3.
What you're about to see is a fantasy based on great service from Home Shopping Club.
Service at my doorstep, that's my philosophy. Just give me some attention. Come on, be good to me. I want to be served. I love being served, yeah. Whether it's club card, another card, flex pay, or anyway.
help you?
I adore being served.
Surprising what you find at home.
Every day you're bombarded with messages, newspapers, magazines, radio, television, even cyberspace. They tell you what to wear, what to eat, how to feel. Bravo, the network that celebrates creativity, brings you a series that uncovers the manipulation behind the media and its creative process. Media Television, Saturdays at 6:30 Eastern, Mondays at 10:30 Eastern, only on Bravo, the Film and Arts Network.
Car accidents can happen anytime, and they happen that fast. Trouble is, if you drive after drinking, you can't react that fast. I've handled enough claims to know that designated drivers save lives. They drive and don't drink. Accidents happen, but drinking and driving, that's an accident waiting to happen. Be a good neighbor. Be a designated driver.
We're back at the beautiful Greensboro Coliseum where Wake Forest is leading North Carolina 17-14. 7:40 to go first half. Here's the matchup between the two big guys during the regular season, Clark.
Yeah, and you can see in the first game, Wallace had 17 points. Duncan has been effective in both. In that second meeting, Wake Forest won that one, and Rasheed Wallace, double and triple teamed an awful lot, did not score a field goal, was basically throwing the ball outside to his perimeter teammates.
He only has 3 points in this game. 1 field goal, however.
I think in the early going, many folks that were watching the other game didn't see it, but this basically has started, as you might expect, on the third day of very intense, dramatic action in this tournament.
Lob from Childress to Travis Banks, and he slams it down. Banks has 4, and the lead is at 5.
I talked to Scooter. I said, you've got a tough matchup with Stackhouse. What do you do with him defensively? He said, I've got to try to make him go baseline, keep him out of the middle of the floor.
And Banks, until this game, had been a non-factor offensively in this tournament. Wallace against Duncan, a lot of contact, no whistle. Wallace yelling for the foul. He doesn't get it. Calabria hits the 3. And now Wallace turns around and says something to Travis Banks.
Well, Wallace did an excellent job yesterday of just hooping. Never said anything to the officials or to the other team and posted his career-high 33 points. You would hope he'd learn from that.
Double team on Duncan, kicks it back outside to Rutland. Missed the shot. Banks tries to keep it alive, and Banks will get the foul. That's 2 on Scooter Banks. Dave Odom trying to win a school record 24th game this year. Does the winner of this game, Clark, get a #1 seed in the NCAA?
Boy, we've been working together too long. I was just trying to run that around in my mind because Kentucky in that dramatic come-from-behind win in overtime, you think they've got one. Kansas losing in the Big 8 tournament. I think the winner of this tournament has to get the #1 seed. But the other question is, what about the loser?
Exactly. And did you see the move by Childress that left the brilliant defender McGinnis on the floor? And Childress buried his 3rd 3 of the game. Calabria comes right back to hit a jumper, and the tempo is picking up. Childress already with 9, all on 3s. Run him around another screen. Good pass to Perall. But he missed the shot. Got the long rebound and fed it out of bounds.
Randolph Childress. Nice little cross. Oh, my. What a crossover there.
Did you see that?
Get me. Oh,
man.
Little salt in the wound there.
Fall down, son. I'll give you a chance to get up. Oh, are you
now,
kidding?
See, if you were on the playground, that's what you call breaking a guy's ankle.
Oh.
When you put a move on him like that.
And then he busted his chops.
Right.
Williams drains one, and North Carolina goes back in the lead. Oh, we've got some guys who can do some remarkable things out here. Childress not getting a lot of offensive help right now.
Well, you think the fellas knew we were away and decided to turn it up when we got most of our audience?
They didn't play this well while you were watching the SEC. Childress has hit 4 straight.
Timing is everything.
82 points in 3 games. McGinnis, nice move down the lane. .31 and counting first half. Well, the crowd is tight too, I'll tell you. 23,311 waiting to see what's going to transpire here. Nice job by Calabria to get the ball out. Nice crossover by McGinnis. But then Duncan was right there. Here comes Childress. He'll wait for help. Wait for a screen. There's a foul on Williams, and Williams jumped straight up in the air and came really close to getting a tee.
Well, Donald Williams, thinking that foul call was anticipated, a slight smirk on the face of Randolph. Childress, maybe he feels like he got away with one there.
That's one on Donald Williams, the fourth team foul against North Carolina.
Duncan has not really had a chance to get many touches. Wake Forest, they're an excellent three-point shooting team, but sometimes I think they're a little quick with the three-point shot.
LaRue has missed two, hits his first. The football team starting quarterback with a bad thumb drains the three. That's 5 for Wake as a team. Make it 6. They've hit 6 of 11.
That's why you want to keep Stackhouse out of the middle of the floor, Mike. He makes things happen when he's able to penetrate to the goal that way. And he's got yeast in his shoes and long arms, so he's able to finish well above the rack.
2 on Tim Duncan. Something Dave Odom doesn't want to hear about, that second foul on his big man. Stackhouse gets a pair, hits the first. Jerry has 5 points today. 3 out of 5 free throws.
One of the most versatile players in all of college basketball, has extended his shooting range. Had a career-high 14 boards yesterday. Defends, steals, he does it all.
Named Sports Illustrated's National Player of the Year as a sophomore. We are tied at 28 in the ACC title game. The Family Channel Blimp with us this weekend on its 1995 nationwide tour, incorporating flybys at major fairs, festivals, and sporting events like this one across the country. Been with us since Thursday. Glad to have the Family Channel Blimp here. And even from the Blimp, they've seen quite a tournament, haven't they?
Oh, it has been fabulous. You look at some of the bullet points. Childress, 82 and counting. The record for most points in the tournament, 106. Junior Burrow was fabulous for Virginia. And you see the three-point shooting, what a difference it makes in terms of winning or losing.
Three-point shooting tonight, Wake 6 of 11. Childress has 4 of those.
So that takes his total to 18 for the tournament.
Breaking his own tournament record. He broke it halfway through yesterday's game.
The one thing there you take a look at the 3 stalwarts, all sophomores for North Carolina. But the other thing you like about Randolph is his leadership qualities, Mike. I mean, he says something to his team, and it's like E.F. Hutton. I mean, all of those guys perk up and pay attention.
Go back to the first game and what he said to his teammates. Childress, 5 of 6 from downtown.
He just told the world, I'm going to rain three-pointers all day long. Yeah, but he did in that timeout when they were down 18 against Duke on Friday. Him and Dave Odom shared the podium, and both were hollering and going bananas, and Childress was the guy who seemed to get his team going.
Stackhouse drains it. The quote I heard was, "You can help me or I'll do it myself."
Exactly. You're exactly right. I want this lead chopped in half at the very minimum, and we're going to figure out a way to do it.
And he's going against McGinnis, who's just a tremendous defender. Duncan couldn't hit the jump hook over Wallace. McGinnis against LaRue in the man-to-man defense. Now they're in the zone. Stackhouse, nice pass to Wallace. Tough fadeaway. Childress talking to Tony Rutland as they come up, trying to tell him where he wants him to be. With 2:15 to go in the half, Carolina leads by 1. The number 4 and number 7 teams in the country. Childress. Whoa. After 5 out of 6, he airs one. Carolina fans get on him, but their heart isn't in it. Stackhouse, nice turnaround, but that may have been blocked by Perrault. Great play by Wallace. They get it back outside in the 3 for McGinnis. Oh, this is special.
It has been all weekend, Mike.
35-31. North Carolina now on a 7-0 run as their shooting starts to heat up. Against the North Carolina zone. Duncan jump hook.
Yeah, big fella. Yeah.
Duncan has 6.
Both teams mixing defenses, Mike. We see Wake. And again, partly because neither team really has extensive depth. You go to the zone, you don't want to get lazy and cautious in the zone, but it certainly gives you a chance to maybe not get into foul trouble as much.
Williams over LaRue. Offensive rebound to Wallace. Calabria. Bucket, and it counts.
But the only danger, the flip side to that zone coin, you get yourself out of foul difficulty situations, but you don't have blockout responsibilities. A second shot opportunity retrieved by Wallace. Nice little dump down to Calabria. Good find here by Rasheed Wallace, and then Calabria finishes it off.
Foul was on Perrault. Calabria, a 72% free throw shooter, misses that one.
Dante had his first double-double. He and I had a nice chuckle about that in the warm-up. He said he's never gotten that many rebounds. Had a career-high 10 yesterday.
Nice save by Duncan after the air ball 3 from LaRue. Yeah, Calabria's rebounded very well all year long. And for a guy 6'4" playing against the guys he's going against, to get 10 rebounds is remarkable.
Carolina back into the man-to-man.
Williams all over Rutland. Remember, there's no closely guarded call until he picks up his dribble. Rutland open. Duncan. And maybe Duncan over the back. If it is, it's 3.
Boy, that's a tough call, Mike. As a former offensive rebounder myself, so many times that call is anticipated. Duncan was at the ball before Stackhouse got there. See, he was at the ball, and Stackhouse slid back into him. I think that's a very tough call. See, he's got the ball.
You're right.
He's got the ball. There's no contact. So many times, if a guy is behind, the official anticipates that he's made contact. Obviously, they don't have the benefit of the replay, and this is as strong an officiating crew as you can get, but I think they missed one.
But you're right about the anticipation, and officials are always warned not to anticipate. Don't call what you don't see.
Well, you know how much harder that is to do than it is to say.
I wouldn't be out there in a striped shirt for all the world. Stackhouse, 8.6 rebounds. Missed the free throw, though. LaRue knocked it out of bounds. Carolina's hit only 5 of 10 free throw attempts with 3.5 seconds to go. What a terrible way to pick up your 3rd foul right at the end of the half, too.
Yeah, some people wondering maybe why he's on the floor, but he's been able to play without fouls before.
Coming up at halftime, we'll get you highlights of everything. Stackhouse fouled by LaRue on the way up. That's Rusty LaRue's first. With a 4-point lead, Carolina, as it has done so often throughout Dean Smith's tenure, trying to build on the lead just before the half. They have an incredible knack for doing things like that.
Well, they don't give up on plays. They're looking to maximize every single possession, Mike. And when you do that and you get in the habit of doing it, you expect some fruit from your labor, and that's why they're able to add a point or 2 or 3 to closing second possession.
One thing to expect with Duncan having 3 fouls when we start the second half, Rasheed Wallace is going to get the ball a lot.
Good call. Stackhouse really frustrated with himself. He's probably missed off, well, actually 4 of the 5 free throw misses before that one were by Stackhouse.
Got the roll on that one. 1.6 seconds. And Childress fouled by Stackhouse. Oh, what a silly foul by Jerry Stackhouse. With 1.6 seconds, I know you have to respect Childress, but if he's going to make one from 55 feet, let him do it.
Exactly.
the foul. Or it was a non-shooting foul. We'll check. That's the half, 38-33. Carolina by 5. 38-33, North Carolina leading Wake Forest at halftime of the ACC Championship. These teams, remarkably enough, have never met for the title in the ACC tournament. Mike Patrick, Clark Kellogg, Leslie Visser with us. Glad you could join us for the ACC. Just a remarkable first half, remarkable tournament.
Boy, it's been fabulous. I mean, what a blessing to be here and to experience this drama, the great play, and we've got another 20 minutes of it.
Randolph Childress has been the most remarkable of all through the first 2.5 games.
He has been fabulous and had a strong first half again. Here we take a look at him. A nice feed for Travis Banks. Movement without the orange. Sets up McGinnis. Catch, fire, mark it up. Now, a little fun time for Randolph. Off the spring, off this pick again. Now, here he has a little fun. Nifty crossover. Come on, taste some of this, Jeff. Come get some of that. You got to get it out of the net, though. All in fun.
Here's what he's done. Game 1, a tournament record 8 threes. He had 40 points. Another tournament record 70 points for 2 games after 30 in the second. Today, he's hit 5 of 7 threes, has 15 points, and chasing the all-time record, Lenny Rosenbluth, 106 points in 3 games in 1957. Still got a shot. But more importantly to Randolph Childress and his teammates, they're down by 5 to North Carolina. They want this title.
Tim Duncan has 3 fouls, folks. So it'll be interesting to see how long he can go and how aggressive he can be without picking up number 4.
Backdoor to Stackhouse, and he missed it. Carolina finished the first half with a 10-2 run. Rutland makes the 3. That's all really Childress needs is some support to win any game against anybody.
Certainly that's been the case this weekend.
Balanced scoring for North Carolina in the first half. All the starters between 5 and 9 points. Williams with a runner, did not get the roll. And Duncan has to be so careful with those 3 fouls.
He plays with so much poise. He's the kind of guy that can play with fouls. He's smart, and he's got tremendous composure.
Good effort by Banks to get the miss by Childress.
Let's see if they try to get Duncan going a little bit offensively. He only took 5 shots in the first half, made 2 of them.
Childress for 3, in and out. Duncan got a hand on it, but knocked it out of bounds. First half stats, Carolina shooting over 50%. Wake not very good from short range, but the threes, they made up for it. 7 out of 14.
Got slammed on the boards. Very fortunate to be down only 5 at the break.
Wallace with a miss. Duncan with his 8th rebound.
Well, Duncan's all alone inside.
Hits the 3. Ricardo Perol from Spain puts Wake Forest back on top by 1.
They've been an excellent come-from-behind team the whole time in this tournament.
Offensive foul on North Carolina.
Let's take a look, folks. We've got the isolated cam on it. Duncan and Wallace. There's Wallace, the swim stroke. Good whistle.
2 on Rasheed Wallace, and you better believe Dave Odom was holding his breath. If it had been 4 on Duncan, his championship hopes might have evaporated. The double on Duncan, he's got to get it out, and does to Rutland, wide open, passed on the shot, then drops it for Duncan and scores.
Is that sweet basketball?
Yes, it is. 41-38 to Deacons. Wake on an 8-0 run. It's been that kind of game.
Good switch there by Rutland and Childress. They just switched back.
McGinnis, nice drive against Rutland. No basket, offensive foul.
Back-to-back offensive fouls on Carolina. Here's McGinnis. Sure. That defender is allowed to go up vertically as long as he's in good position before the shot is taken and before the offensive player gets into his move. An excellent call. The fans here don't like it, but it was the right call.
10 turnovers on North Carolina as Villanova advances over UConn. Childress. Got it! He has hit 6 3-point shots. Holy cow. Stackhouse. Nice feed to Wallace. Beautiful pass by Jerry Stackhouse. That stops an 11-0 run. Good pass into Banks, but he missed the shot. Got the tip. Out to McGinnis. 2-on-1. Rasheed knocked away by Childress. And he traveled. Randolph Childress can do it at that end, too. And a technical foul on Dean Smith. And he is going head-to-head with Dick Paparo. Childress will go to the line to shoot the technical, and apparently it was called on assistant coach Phil Ford. That's what we're told from the scorer's table. Well, you don't see Phil react that emotionally very often either. It's an excellent assistant coach.
That whole crew is solid.
Yes, they are.
Guthridge and Hanners.
Bill Guthridge has been there 28 years as Dean Smith's assistant. Here's a huge break for Wake Forest as they go up 46-40.
They've come from behind in every game in this tournament. They got an 18-point deficit to where they led at the half against Duke, down 8, I think, yesterday to Virginia, and came back to win.
Duncan from long range, too strong. Calabria with a rebound. A lot of times, a technical foul call on your team will fire them up. Calabria for 3. Short. Banks tips it to Duncan. Calabria, the number 2 3-point shooter in the country, better than 54%. Childress got caught up in the air for one of the few times with no place to go. Williams had a foot on the line, spins out. Calabria, good hustle. Wallace working hard against Duncan. Boy, are they going after each other. Williams with a runner, his favorite spot in the world.
That is his most patented shot. That little one-bounce runner, and he's mastered that over his career.
He must make 95% of those. Rutland with a 3. Rutland's hit 2. He has 6 points, and it's 49-42 Wake.
Boy, this young fella has had a solid tournament, Mike. 17 points in the 2 prior games, mostly on 3s.
Lean in by Rasheed Wallace.
That's where they've got to go. I mean, Duncan has to be careful, so why not try to exploit that situation? The only problem is sometimes you get a little too focused on attacking a guy with fouls, but within the scheme of your offense, I think that's one of your first looks. Throw it in there to Rasheed, or at least give him a look inside.
Duncan with his own rebound and score. Sometimes you get the breaks. The ball kicks out a little far for the people who have the position, and you get it.
Duncan already with a double-double, 10 boards and 10 points.
Nice catch by Stackhouse. Great hands. Boy, Jerry Stackhouse plays a lot bigger than 6'6".
Well, again, he's got the flubberized shoes, and he's got the long arms, Mike. I mean, he really elevates.
Childress fouled by Wallace, who went down hard. Childress did a great job dribbling out of the double team, and Rasheed will pick up his 3rd foul, but more importantly, he pancaked on the floor. And Childress goes over to see if he's all right.
Take time out. Here you take a look. There's the bump. Let's see what happens there. They get tied up And the way Rasheed Wallace fell, he may have actually bumped his hip.
14:07 to go in the ACC title game. It's a 5-point Wake lead. 14:07 to go in the ACC championship game. Wake Forest leading North Carolina by 5. And if you really hear, as you see Rasheed Wallace getting a breather after he went down hard.
See, let's try to analyze this fall. I don't think it's his ankle. I think, look how awkwardly he falls on his left side. I think he may have actually bruised the hip. Again, it's pure speculation, but I don't know if, in fact, it would have been his ankle. Nobody's really paid any attention to his ankle, and he seems to be fine.
Yeah.
He did pick up his third foul on that play, so I think that's more the reason that he's not on the floor.
Yeah, he doesn't appear to be uncomfortable right now, which is great news for North Carolina. Zurich Zwicker is in his place in the middle.
Zone defense now by Carolina. Dangerous against this excellent three-point shooting team.
Childress now 6 of 11 from long range. Wake Forest is a team 11 of 21. That's what's given them the lead. Landry passes on the shot.
Dave Odom electing to rest Tim Duncan while Rasheed Wallace is out.
Stackhouse against Perrault. Kicks it out to Landry. Got it! Pierce Landry, the former walk-on, the Phi Beta Kappa, living his dream and playing in his hometown for the ACC championship. Not bad.
That's a different kind of hoop dream.
Yes, sir. Rutland out of the corner. Zwicker with a rebound.
See, Wake Forest becomes an all-perimeter team with not much size and interior presence with Duncan off the floor.
Stackhouse challenging Perrault. We're tied at 51.
And Dave Odom senses that. Tim Duncan at the scorer's table.
Fans from both teams and even those who don't have a team on their feet in Greensboro. The frustration for Wake has been building since 1962, the last time they won one. Good cross-court pass. Nice head fake by Rutland. Missed the shot. Zwicker clears. This has all the earmarks of one of Carolina's patented runs. Rutland reached in, took it away. Perrault did not see Randolph Childress, who was ahead of the pack. He's working on Landry, and Landry knocks Childress to the floor. And Randolph slow to get up.
I think he's telling the guys he's okay.
Foul on Landry, his second.
Let's take a look. Here's the bump. They actually knocked knees, and then look how arched Randolph Childress' back is, so he's not able to brace his fall at all.
Randolph Childress now with 20 points, give him 90 through 3 games. That's correct, 90. Only 16 behind Lenny Rosenbluth in 1957.
Well, I'd attack Zwicker with Duncan right now. See if he can play Duncan at all in there.
Carolina's committed 14 fouls in this half. Wake has not been called for a personal.
That's another reason you try to throw it inside. Move that free throw situation into your favor.
Nice block, Stackhouse. If he's within 10 feet, you're in jeopardy.
Oh, big time. Again, he's got the wingspan of a condor, and he can hop. So when you've got a guy like that around you, you better lift him with a ball fake.
LaRue, too strong. Braswell, nice rebound. So one thing about the three-point shots, you get the long rebounds, you get a better chance. Duncan, triple team. And wheels to the lane, and he's fouled.
Boy, they really collapsed on him.
I thought it really bailed him out, too.
It really did. They were like lint in a dryer that time around Tim Duncan. Take a look at this, folks. 1, 2, 3 blue shirts. And Duncan does a nice job to split that double and triple team, and the foul was on Sullivan.
And Stackhouse was ready to swat it into the third row. Tied at 51. The tournament spirits elevate, players soar, intensity reigns. For many, a second chance. For most, a final chance. I've been lucky enough to cover a lot of ACC championships during my career, but this one just might be the best.
This is only my second. Had to miss last year's, but boy, this has been fabulous.
Inbounds to Peral, couldn't handle it for the easy two. Childress, nice pass to Banks, lost it. Duncan, blocked, goaltended.
Wake Forest has missed their last 5 3-point shots, Mike. They don't have a team foul. North Carolina has 5. You've got to go to the basket. You must throw it inside. That could be very large as you go down the last 11 minutes of this game. Wake Forest, an 80% free throw shooting team.
Wallace back in there. McGinnis, nice crossover. But he missed the shot. Wallace, offensive rebound, blocked by Duncan.
What a play.
And Dean Smith showed us about a 50-inch vertical jump on that. He wanted the foul. Childress lost it on the way up. Saved by Banks. Knocked away by Calabria. Out to Wake.
Both guys with 3 fouls here. Rasheed, great offensive rebound and a better block. All orange.
And doesn't tries to he's not trying to be spectacular.
Not at all. He wants to keep the orange in play.
LaRue had the 3 and passed on it.
Well, I think Randolph has to throw it inside or penetrate off the dribble. He's excellent at drawing fouls. Wake has to look to take advantage of this foul situation.
Banks inside the line, got it. Travis Banks puts Wake Forest up by 4. Carolina going with its starting 5. Nice entry to Stackhouse.
What a catch and finish. That was a low fastball, and when you're a good low post scorer, sometimes you have to catch bad passes.
And that one had some spin on it when it got there, too, to help the angle. Under 10 minutes to go.
North Carolina back to man now. Look at McGinnis really working on Childress.
And Childress checking the official, saying, I think he's got a hold of me pretty good here. Duncan gets it inside, leans in, basket won't go, but he's fouled. That's the 6th team foul against Carolina. It's Calabria picking up his first.
There you see the numbers on the big fellas, both now with 3 fouls. Duncan already with his 19th double-double on the year. And Rasheed has been solid in the minutes he's been on the floor as well.
Duncan misses the first free throw. Indiana having its way with Iowa. Early second half.
I still think Iowa's in. And Indiana too.
I do too.
Dick Vitale is talking 7 teams. I'd say 6, but I wouldn't be surprised if there were 7 from the Big Ten. I'm glad when it's over, so we don't have to speculate anymore.
Stackhouse. 56-55 Carolina. Jerry Stackhouse having a sensational afternoon, 18 points.
And all he does is play. I mean, he brings such intensity and focus to the floor every game.
LaRue for 3. Calabria with a rebound. 6 boards for Dante Calabria. Williams! Donald Williams is one of those guys who can sense blood in an injured team.
Oh, no question about it. He is so timely when he looks to shoot that 3-point shot. And he's best shooting it off the dribble in transition.
59-55. Carolina has scored 8 in a row. Banks throws it away. Williams.
shooting, Mike.
Rasheed, short. Duncan rebound. Here comes Childress, got by McGinnis, and McGinnis had no choice but to foul him. That's 3 on McGinnis.
Rasheed Wallace down, writhing in pain. Couldn't quite tell what happened there on that possession.
Oh, he looks hurt. This is a tragic scene here with a great player like Rasheed Wallace who went down on that play. Oh, Clark, my heart really goes out to him. Still difficult to tell what part of his leg he hurt.
Exactly. One thing we know for sure, he's in tremendous pain. We'll look at it from the high angle here, folks. And
wow, man.
He comes down awkwardly. Looks like the left ankle just kind of buckled.
Yeah. He may have hit the side of Duncan's foot.
It looks like that left ankle just kind of buckled as he came down.
But that looked like a good no call as far as a foul.
Yeah, anytime there's an injury, people automatically assume a foul's been committed, and that's not always the case.
Childress with a rare miss from the free throw line. The rebound to Duncan and a jump ball. Gives it back to Wake Forest. We've got a timeout. 61-55. North Carolina by 6 over Wake. In a seesaw battle, North Carolina has regained the lead over Wake Forest, 61-55, 7:38 to go in the championship game. Trying to check for you on the condition of Rasheed Wallace, who went down and was in obvious agony at the end of the court and did not want to put any weight on that ankle, and now it looks like they're trying to retape it, Clark. Let's go to Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Mike, it is a terrifically bad sprain. The team doctors say they do not know if he will return. He seems very upset about it. He's getting it iced right now, but they do not know.
Leslie, I've never seen anyone who was helped off the court like that come back in the same day in any sport.
Yeah, it would really be surprising if he was able to get back out on the court.
And that could be a huge break, obviously, for Wake Forest.
Well, already North Carolina with 17 fouls.
Childress misses the 3. Duncan with a rebound. Childress tries it too. Missed that. Duncan got his hand on it, but Carolina comes out with it. Donald Williams.
I know Wake Forest is a pretty good shooting team from the perimeter. Randolph has been on fire, but when you have 0 team fouls and the other team has 7, and you've got a guy like Duncan, you've got to figure out a way to try to attack inside.
Stackhouse, who has carried the load today with a miss. Duncan with a rebound. 17 for Duncan. He'll take a perimeter shot and make it. Maybe not what you had in mind.
Not exactly, but it was a good possession. It wasn't another three-point look without probing and at least allowing Duncan to touch the ball.
Carolina had scored 10 in a row, and we have an official timeout as Stackhouse comes up limping. And Sullivan will come in. Gee whiz, that's just awful to watch.
I think Stackhouse, well, I won't speculate. We'll wait and see.
A lot of offense sitting beside Dean Smith on the North Carolina bench.
I think Stackhouse took a shot to that area below the waist that you don't like to get hit in.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Calabria with a left-hand runner. The lead goes back to 6. Well, if you believe in momentum, this is the time for Wake Forest with 2 superstars sitting on the bench to make something happen. Duncan, triple team. Jump ball situation, North Carolina ball. The expression rarely, if ever, changes.
As a matter of fact, now I'm sure Stackhouse, I'm sure of what happened to Jerry. Just needs to regroup, take a few deep breaths, and then get everything together and get back on the court.
You said you thought about a lot of things if your ankle gets hurt. A few things run through your mind on that one, too. 5:36 to go in the championship game. The lead is 6 for North Carolina. They'll be as patient as they can on offense. Get good shots. Calabria caught at the baseline. Shot clock at 1. Zwicker kept it alive but knocked it out of bounds.
North Carolina doing a great job in their zone defense as you take a look at Rasheed Wallace's left ankle being iced down. But they're doing a nice job defensively, really packing it in and forcing Wake Forest to take the perimeter shot. They won't allow Duncan to get a good look even if he catches it inside.
Wake has missed its last 7 3-point shots.
Well, I think Dean Smith has said, look, we're not going to let Duncan beat us inside. We're going to keep Childress from penetrating. If they beat us, they're going to have to beat us from outside.
Duncan moves across the baseline past Zwicker. Oh, man.
Too quick. By the time Zwicker knew what was happening, it was time to take the ball out.
It was a blur. 16 points, 17 rebounds for the 18-year-old sophomore. The lead down to 4. Nice move by Stackhouse, then he missed the shot. Zwicker called for the foul over the back.
That's what Tim Duncan can do. Stackhouse wanted to flush that one, but Duncan's presence made him change his mind. Watch this move along the baseline. Bang!
Oh.
Forget about it. Turn and face, and then like a hiccup, get to the cup. Third. That's a tough one to cover.
That is the 8th team foul against North Carolina. And as long as I've done ACC basketball, I've never seen this stat. There's 4:32 to go in the game. Wake Forest has not committed a foul. North Carolina has committed 8. 99% of the time, it's the other way around.
Flipped over.
Banks with big free throws. Gets the first. Only a 63% shooter. Dave Odom says he has improved every year, came in the best shape of his life. And there's Pat Sullivan back in the ball game, still recovering from the neck surgery that he had in December.
Here's your game synopsis right now. Rasheed Wallace, him being out means North Carolina really doesn't have an inside presence. The foul situation and perimeter shooting it'll determine the winner, Mike.
We're tied at 63 as Rutland buries his 3rd 3 of the day. Surprised it's tied with 4 minutes to go? Neither are we. McGinnis in the lane. Tough shot by McGinnis. Childress has been stuck on 20 points for quite a while. No more.
Man, he's heard you all weekend long, Mike.
7 threes. 23 points for Childress. Wake by 1. Nice move by Stackhouse, but Duncan got a piece of it. Bodies everywhere. Childress comes out with it.
I tell you what, these officials are doing a marvelous job of letting these guys play basketball.
Nice move by Rutledge. Gets caught in the air, though. Banks with the follow in front of Calabria. The lead grows to 3. Dean Smith may feel his 13th ACC title slipping away. Wake with the momentum. Donald Williams to tie it. Didn't get the roll. Duncan with 18 boards. And he got most of them when Wallace was there. They continue to work on Rasheed Wallace's ankle. I can't imagine he could come back in this game.
I agree with you.
Rutland wide open from 16. Nearly knocked back in by Perrault. Waits ball the 3 by Childress. Holy cow! Randolph Childress has 26. The lead is 6. And there's the foul on Childress. The first mistake he's made all day.
He has been so good this weekend, It's hard to describe it. And if you've not seen it Friday and Saturday, I tell you what, you really missed a special 3-day performance by Childress.
In 3 games, Randolph Childress has lit up this place. 40, 30, and 26. In a game that is seesawed back and forth, Wake Forest has gained the momentum again. They lead by 6, 2:15 to go in the game. Our Nike storyline, North Carolina has had the advantage inside. Jerry Stackhouse has been wonderful, but Wake Forest with 14 3-point field goals, 8 of them by Randolph Childress. He has 26 points, 96 in the tournament. When Wallace left with that injury, Carolina was up by 6. Since then, it's been a 16-4 Wake Forest run, and I don't believe it because Rasheed Wallace has been retaped, put 2 socks on, and he's got the shoe back on. He may give it a go. 2:09 and counting. Carolina certainly has the 3-point shooters to get back in a hurry. Williams. He's fouled. He'll get 3 free throws.
Whoa. And Duncan was there to grab the board. And as you look at Rasheed Wallace trying to walk on it. And as a right-handed player, that left ankle is your push-off foot. It's your pivot foot. And the way he twisted it, like you, I can't imagine that he'd be able to come back. If it was his right foot, maybe. But even then, it would be very unlikely.
Williams at the free throw line, only a 61% free throw shooter, as Carolina has struggled from the line this year, but at the end, they seem to make most, if not all of them. Dean Smith, 826 career victories, 827 would be very sweet if he could get it today. Carolina's only hit 7 of 13 free throws. 8 of 14, and Williams will get another.
One left. Let him leave his hand. Don't try it. That's bad news for Rasheed, but probably the best judgment at this point.
Williams makes 2 of 3. Stackhouse with a rebound, jump ball situation. Possession arrow will give it to Wake. Another nice piece of officiating. Although Dean would not agree.
Maybe a fraction quick, but it's hard to argue with the call.
You want the ball in Childress's hands because he's an 83% free throw shooter. Here comes the trap.
Well, you know, in the first meeting, Wake had a significant lead, had a 10-point lead with 6 minutes to go, and some pressure caused turnovers, and they ended up blowing that game. In a different situation now.
Bad pass by Rutland. Look out for Stackhouse. Just as you mentioned, the defense, when you get out of your offense, can give you trouble.
Well, so often Wake will sometimes make lazy horizontal passes. See, these floaters, you've got to put some zing on these passes. And you've also got to look to penetrate off the dribble. You've got to go north and south, east and west to get you in trouble.
Bad pass by LaRue. Calabria for the tie. He missed it. Childress then fouled by Stackhouse.
East and west will kill you against pressure.
Give me the ball every time.
And they've done it twice in a row. And then Carolina gets the opportunity to tie and miss the layup, then commit the foul on top of it. Oh, man.
Stackhouse on the pilfer just shoots the gap. See, that's a long distance to throw a soft bounce pass. And he makes sure he's going to finish this one with 2 hands. And then Dante Calabria gets the steal, but I think he loses this ball on the way up. You know, he made a play like this yesterday against X-Ree-Hip. Just got back into his path and then ended up on the back end of that same kind of play as LaRue. Bothered him enough to cause the miss.
Childress, one of the best free throw shooters in the country, makes it a 3-point game. And you can tell on the replay, Calabria was not touched by LaRue as he went by him to try to bother him. Sometimes that's enough. Today, only 6 out of 10. But in clutch time, Childress buries both of them. Randolph Childress, 28 points, 5 assists on the day. He has scored 98 in the ACC tournament. lovely channel blimp that's brought us all the aerial shots this weekend from the ACC tournament here in Greensboro. Thank you, gentlemen. And we remind you, tonight at 6, we'll have John Saunders, Dick Vitale, and Digger Phelps. They'll give you the men's NCAA basketball selection special at 6 o'clock Eastern. But we are far from done here. 1:03 to go in this game. Look at Randolph Childress. 40, 30, and 28. Tournament records all over the place. But more importantly, he's within 1:03 of bringing Wake Forest its first championship in 33 years.
And he's had some help. Duncan has 16 points, 19 boards, and 3 blocks in this one, 14 blocks in the tournament.
Stackhouse, a lean in, and it looked like he was fouled by Banks.
Good call out of the timeout. You want to try to score as quickly as possible, get it in Stackhouse's hands, and he penetrates and draws the foul and stops the clock.
3 on Banks with 52.5 seconds to go. And if you're not that familiar with ACC basketball, I would guess all the fans in this Coliseum have probably seen North Carolina come from behind about 1,000 times and win. And if you're wearing Wake Forest colors today, anybody in gold is holding his breath right now. And Stackhouse with the big miss.
He struggled all day from the line. All day long.
10, even though he has 20 points and 8 rebounds. Got the second one. It is a 3-point game. Now, does Wake be aggressive with its offense, or do they try to kill the clock?
They have to use good judgment. Keep it in Randolph's hands. Then you've got to take a shot here. Carolina is going to try to defend without fouling, then rebound, and hope that they're down no more than 3.
15 on the shot clock.
This young fella's been on fire. They're going to try to keep it out of Randolph's hands.
And they're doing a great job of it. Now they run him around the screen. LaRue with a fake 4 on the shot clock. Missed the 3. Calabria with a rebound. Carolina can tie with a 3.
Now you wonder about a foul here. You wonder about fouling here because the only way they tie it is with a 3.
Stackhouse got it! Holy cow! He's not a big-time player or anything, is he?
Money time. He made a big one yesterday, too, Mike. Boy, you take a look. And I don't know. I may have to agree with Dick Vitale on this. He talked and screamed about it yesterday in this situation. Maybe you go ahead and commit the foul, give up 2, squeeze the orange on your inbounds possession and win. That's a great shot. But he can't take it if you're fouling.
Dave Odom watching that 3. Oh, and he just said, foul the guy. But I'll remember, Clark, a game last year when I was a proponent of the same thing. They went and fouled the guy. He made the first one, missed the second. They got the rebound, put it in, and won the game. And I felt a little silly.
There's risk involved in every decision you make, so you just have to weigh them out and say, what are you willing to do to give yourself the best chance to win? It's about personnel. It's about time and clock. So there are a number of circumstances.
Now 4.5 seconds to go. That's longer than most people think. You probably will get a decent shot.
You can. I think they need to get it into somebody else and then get it to Randolph. I think North Carolina probably will double him immediately if he catches it in the backcourt. I think they've got to keep him somewhere where when he catches it, he has a chance to make a move. That wouldn't be in the backcourt. He needs to be at half court, somewhere in that area where he can maybe get a catch and then go to work.
Rutland can shoot the 3, so can Parole if Childress is covered. And Duncan will inbound. And it doesn't look like they're going to cover Duncan.
Well, you wish you had somebody else that could inbound for you and use Duncan maybe as the first catcher that could maybe get it inside, get it to Childress after his catch. But I guess he may be their best inbounds passer.
Dean Smith finally sends his 5th player out. He's got Calabria. Timeout called by North Carolina, and Dave Odom did not obviously trying to find out something about what they were going to do on the inbounds play, and they could have gotten it to Childress the way he broke away from the double
team. It looked like he was going to be open, but again, he was going to catch it in the backcourt, and you wonder if I don't know if he'd have time to get up a good shot.
Anything across midcourt would be bad. The way it's gone for him this weekend.
Well, I'd love to see the rule where they have it in the NBA. If you call a timeout, you get the inbound at half court. So that would add a lot more drama. I mean, you could realistically get a good high percentage shot in this situation.
Well, if you propose it, Dave Odom will vote for it right now.
Oh, yeah. I know I could get one vote on it.
Yeah, but Dean will have veto power, I think. 4.5 seconds left, tied at 73. These teams split the regular season. They are the top 2 ranked teams in the ACC. North Carolina, number 4. Wake Forest, number 7. They may be fighting for a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. The other would surely get a number 2
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, that would have to be the way it would unfold. Both of these teams, I mean, by virtue of playing in this conference, they both played representative out-of-conference schedules. So clearly, they're no worse than 1 and 2 seeds. And then you think about Maryland, probably no worse than a number 2 seed, you would think. And then Virginia, probably a 2 or 3 seed. There you see Rasheed Wallace, one of the most helpless feelings you can have.
Childress with the ball in his hands, knocked away. That's it. We go to overtime. More free basketball from the ACC in a moment. Tied at 73 as we go to overtime in the ACC championship game, and the fans here couldn't ask for more.
Here you take a look at the last play. Good job by Landry and McGinnis. Jeff gets a hand in there to knock it away and prevent Randolph from even getting a shot up.
If this overtime seems familiar to you in the ACC tournament, they played in the semifinals last year in overtime, and North Carolina won in OT 86-84. And that was the last time Wake Forest had an overtime game. They didn't like the outcome of that one.
Well, I tell you what, with Rasheed Wallace out with the ankle injury, Stackhouse and Williams look to take over for North Carolina. If you're Wake, Tim Duncan played that entire half with 3 fouls. Did not pick up his 4th. So now I think you've really got to try to exploit his advantage inside. And then obviously Randolph, who's been the maestro all weekend, will look to continue to play sweet music.
Childress with great body control. Nearly wrapped himself into a pretzel, still came down, didn't travel.
Stackhouse on Duncan.
Boy, Jerry gives away a lot of inches.
Too much. You can't play him in there.
Double team on Childress. Nice job by Calabria. Spins out of it. Childress for 3. Holy cow! He's got 31 points.
He is so tough-minded, Mike.
It's at 9 of 16 threes.
He just busted through that double team. And that was pretty good defense by North Carolina.
So in 3 games, he's had 40, 30, and 31. Stackhouse slashing down the lane, fouled by Banks. That's 4 on Banks. Stackhouse has been wonderfully impressive today, as he has been all year long.
He's got the whole package. Needs to continue to work on his dribble skills, but he's only a sophomore, so you're going to see continued improvement in his game. But he does everything you want a guy of his size to do. At the pro level, he'll be a 2-guard, I think.
Wake by 3. 4:09 to go in overtime. Carolina being very patient. Trademark of their offense.
So look at Tim Duncan. He can just kind of help out in there.
Calabria hangs in the lane. Nice soft touch. 76-75.
North Carolina really doesn't have an inside presence. So that will allow Duncan to roam and not be worried about picking up a 4th foul. He can just play his normal game now.
Childress with a runner and banked it home. Randolph has 35, putting on a performance for the ages.
Another hoop and a new record to be established.
Within 1 of Lenny Rosenblum. McGinnis with a runner. Excuse me, 33, so he still needs 3.
And this is like one of those games on the playground. The light, it starts getting dark outside, and you can't determine the winner, and nobody wants to go home.
Lenny Rosenbluth's record has stood since 1957. And if you're guarding Childress, there's 3:05 left. That's a lifetime.
We saw him get 10 in a minute and 30, didn't we, on Friday?
Rutland trying to get away from a double team. May have gotten away with a push-off. Gets it back. Shot clock at 5. Rutland with a long three. Peral kicks it out, but Williams picks it up. Carolina can take the lead. Calabria stepped out of bounds. Dante Calabria with a nice hesitation move at the baseline. Nearly got free for an easy layup. Timeout. 2:38 to go in overtime. Wake by 1. I don't know if there's any adrenaline left in this building.
Oh, there's a little bit, but man, I tell you what, it has been so exhilarating all weekend long. Here you see him fighting through the double team, strong with the ball, and the amazing thing, he maintained the pivot foot. Then it was just simply a catch and fire. See, look at him. The eye of the tiger. Oh, man, he's done everything. Even a scowl for the ages.
Rasheed Wallace.
Oh, you got a feel for him. My goodness.
Apparently had a severe ankle injury late in the second half. Could not put on any weight on it as he came out of the game and was screaming in pain as he lay under the basket where he had fallen. But he was giving it a go. He's still got the shoe on. They retaped it, put his socks back on, but it just looked like such a severe ankle injury, and the doctor was shaking his head at Rasheed like, we can't take the chance. We've got plenty of basketball left in this season.
You have to take the long-term approach here, and obviously the adrenaline, the emotion of the moment would move Rasheed to want to get back out on the floor, but it's best that he not return, and you wonder how he's going to be able to get ready within a matter of a week or so for NCAA tournament play. I mean, if it's a very severe sprain, he could be much less than 100% in their first round game.
And thinking beyond that, you don't want to take a chance on damaging a young man's career, and you know the doctors at programs like this aren't going to do that.
Another look at it, folks. This is what happened to Rasheed Wallace. Came down awkwardly right there on the left ankle. And I don't know if he actually rolled it on Tim Duncan's foot or if it was just the awkward manner in which he came down. Either way, he's been out for about, I guess, 10 minutes of the second half and then all of the overtime.
Randolph Childress with 33 points.
I still don't understand how come Tim Duncan hasn't touched it in the overtime. I mean, Stackhouse is on it. You've got the bonus situation. And part of it may be Duncan not being aggressive enough looking for it.
Childress for 3, way short. Calabria with a rebound. Carolina with another shot at the lead. And you're right. You've got a great weapon inside, and he hasn't come within hailing distance of it. Under 2. Shot clock at 13. Williams for 3. Spun out. Duncan with a rebound. Double team. Duncan with 20 boards.
Mike, he is so good at getting a rebound and keeping it high and legally spreading his elbows. I mean, he's a throwback in that way. You see very few guys do it as textbook perfect as he does. Rebound, keep it chest and chin high, and then get it to your outlet guard.
Childress with a hanger. 35 for Randolph. Childress to lead is 3.
Well, I just figured it out. The reason Duncan's not going to touch it is because Randolph said, I'm going to win or lose it, guys.
Sullivan thought about the 3, wouldn't take it. Stackhouse will. Childress with a rebound. Here comes the pressure and backcourt dribbles through it. Childress down the lane. Offensive foul.
3 It's an interesting dilemma as you look at Dave Odom. He's seen this guy win so many games for him. You can understand why he's allowing Childress to just go to it himself. Nice job by Sullivan to step in. But boy, I don't know. I guess I'm partial to the big fella. But what a show Childress has put on.
Well, we make a good combination because I love the guard.
That's why we're together.
McInnes kicks it out to Landry Williams all alone for three. Fight for the rebound, back to Williams so he can try it again. Got it! Tied at 21.7 seconds to go. And Wake Forest will get a chance to run its end of the game play again. We'll be back to reset it for you with the ACC after this. Tied at 80 in overtime for the ACC championship. 21.7 seconds to go. It will be Wake Forest ball. Here's how we got to 80-80.
Great work on the offensive glass. Williams, a great look there. Stackhouse housing his way to that rebound. And then another look. Williams thought about it. He's better off the dribble, Mike. He is better shooting it with one bounce. Now check out this reaction. Now take a look at Rasheed Wallace. Look at that left foot. That's the 1 foot stomp right there. Understandably so, that left one is in a lot of pain.
Williams with 20 points 2 years ago, the MVP of the Final Four when he shot lights out. And he has 20 today.
And he has quietly,
Childress.
You know, he's quietly had a very solid senior year. Stackhouse and Wallace get tremendous amount of attention.
Parole. That ball almost went out of bounds.
So you got to get busy now. Got to get busy now. Penetration. Give yourself a chance.
Randolph Childress just broke the tournament record and put North Carolina down by 2. Nobody has ever scored this many points in an ACC tournament. Randolph Childress 107. Holy cow. 40, 30, and 37 in 3 games. And he is not playing against the Little Sisters of the Poor either.
Great execution here. Look at when he goes to work. If he misses, they've got a chance for an offensive rebound. He makes it. North Carolina still with enough time to get it up. But this is just a great take by Randolph.
His eye never left that rim. Exactly 4 seconds to go. Childress with all 9 points in overtime. Money.
And it's not monopoly money either. It's the real stuff.
Keep in mind, North Carolina with Jerry Stackhouse showing you he can hit the 3 today as he has most of the year. They have 4 legitimate 3-point shooters. A 3 would win it.
That's what I go for. I try to shoot the 3, Mike. I try to set up a play, spread it, get it to Williams or McInnes or Stackhouse. Let somebody shoot a 3.
The selection special coming up at 6 o'clock Eastern. And you'll see the field of 64 and see where these 2 teams fit in. The feeling here they may be playing for a number 1 seed. Randolph Childress, 107 points. Nobody in the storied history of this league ever scored more in the ACC tournament.
When you say storied history, that's accurate, but that still might be an understatement.
That's right. And now another timeout as the coaches play chess and look at what kind of lineup they put on the floor and where they put them. This always fascinated me because now, do you go back and change it? Or do you cross them up and keep the same thing?
No, you got to stay with what you call. And it's about execution at this point. I don't know if you can really see something in that little bit of a time, and in that little bit of time that's going to make you alter what you've called in the huddle. I really don't. And then defensively, you can make adjustments once you get on the floor. There's about 2 seconds between the time you get out there and the official hands the ball to the guy inbounding it.
Two teams taking it as far as they can go in the ACC. North Carolina 24-4, Wake Forest 23-5. One more win will set a school record for victories. And the best seasons they have ever had, 23-9, 11 years ago. You have to go back to the glory days in 61 and 62 when they got 22 victories, of course, when you played a much smaller schedule because they went to the Final Four of the NCAA that year when only one team would go out of a conference. Dave Odom looking for his first ACC tournament title ever. Dean Smith looking for his 13th. Marvelous weekend, and what a marvelous way to finish it here in Greensboro.
See, this is good. You got Perot, who's got the long arms, and then Duncan back there, maybe defending.
Sullivan, tough pass. Stackhouse tried to call a timeout and got it.
Oh, man.
Great, smart play by Stackhouse. He knew he was going to fall out of bounds. I don't know whether that timeout was planned or not, but he was falling out of bounds. We'll be back to Greensboro. An entire 3 seconds left to go in this one. In overtime, Wake by 2. 3 seconds left. You're looking at an aerial view of the Greensboro Coliseum, and we remind you, coming up at 6 tonight, the men's selection special, the field of 64 in the NCAA. Down to 3 seconds, and Dick Caparo says, hold it. The official scorer, I believe, held up the play. Dean Smith really upset about that. He said, hey, we had something going here.
Nobody defending the ball, so you've got 4 on 5, 5 on 4 defensively here.
A 3 would win it. Stackhouse. No! Wake Forest wins the ACC! The Demon Deacons have won the Atlantic Coast Conference Tournament. Dave Odom with his first. You may also be looking at one of the great performances all time in the history of college basketball. Not just this conference, not just this tournament. That kid scored 107 points in 3 games against some of the best teams in the country. Let's go to Leslie.
Definition of unstoppable. Congratulations to your Randolph Childress. What about the overtime? You had all the points.
I didn't try to worry about it. I was just happy we won the game. I didn't go into the overtime expecting it, but the only thing Carolina was doing was trying to take the ball out of my hands. We were giving away leads. We struggled a little bit against Virginia because they were doing the same thing. If we were to lose this game, it was going to be because of me. I got the charge at the end. It was a bad play, but I'd rather have that type of aggression than let everyone else throw the ball away like they did at that stretch period of time. And my fault is big as as much as my responsibility as it was theirs. To do my part, I told the guys to give me the ball and get out of the way. If we lose, blame me. If we win, you take the win.
Was it help to have this man here?
I love him. He's to me, he's the most underrated big guy in the country. He's one of the best to me. He's second to none. I'll take Tim Duncan over any big man in the country.
Tim Duncan, talk about this game. Wake Forest's first title since 1962. What does it mean to you?
It means everything to us. We worked the whole season so hard to get here, and nobody believed us, and we came out and did it ourselves.
You were the top seed. Was it an advantage to have Rasheed Wallace out there for most of the game?
He got injured. If he was out there, we'd play the same way. We just played the game out.
What, in the overtime, talk about Randolph in that overtime.
He was unbelievable. He had everything. He took it on himself. He's a senior. This is his game. We're just out here to play it.
Is this your last ACC tournament?
No.
Well, we hope not. Thanks to both of you. Congratulations. Back to you, Mike.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Last play of the game, Clark, was everybody on their feet, hearts in their throat.
Here you take a look, Stackhouse. And I like this call. I would have gone for the 3 as well. Go ahead and try to win it. Stackhouse gets a pretty good look. Duncan on the challenge. And then actually, Landry had a tip. It looked like it would have counted. Look from another angle. Think about these videotapes, highlights. They never change. What happened live happens on these tapes. And Wake Forest gets their first championship in 33 years.
When you think about Randolph Childress getting all the points in overtime, remember Dave Odom has said all season, Randolph Childress earned the right to take every big shot. For Clark Kellogg and Leslie Visser, this is Mike Patrick. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. It was awesome. Let's go to Mike Terrell.